Chiampa, Hal Miller, and Bill Graham. Your referee, once again, is Davy Pearl. The next bout of the night featuring 8 rounds of boxing in the junior middleweight division. Introducing, in the red corner, fighting out of Miami, Florida, weighing 153 pounds. He is undefeated in his professional career. 8 wins, no defeats with 6 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Eddie Yogi Bear Neblett. And in the blue corner, from San Diego, California, he too weighs 153 pounds. His professional record consists of 12 wins, 1 defeat with 7 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Terry Norris.
You guys know, remember what we told you in the dressing room, right? Where?
Really good. Look at the fight.
I'll get it on. Don't forget now, you know the rules now, so no goofing up. Go back to your furnace.
Davy Pearl, he lightens things up a bit, doesn't he? Well, you're looking at Eddie Neblett, 20-3 as an amateur. And Terry Norris. And what can we expect from this young man tonight? Combinations, and more combinations.
That's what he wants to do, because he didn't do it in his last outing. In the Stroh's tournament out in California, he lost to Derek Kelly over 10.
Now, we asked the fighters at the weigh-in to fill out top-ranked ESPN questionnaires about themselves. And on Terry Norris's questionnaire, under his favorite athlete, he says, my big brother, Orlin.
Nice thought. Norris has very good hand speed, good jab, good straight right hand. See him coming out very aggressively. That flashing right that I talked about. He is obviously committed to throwing combinations. One of the I think interesting oddities about Eddie Neblett is that his first 4 fights were scheduled as 10-rounders. The first one went 6, he won by KO. The second one he won by KO and 1. Then the next 2 went 10 rounds. That's wild for an amateur fighter to go right into the pros and have 10-rounders. He was 20-3 as an amateur. He represented Barbados in the Olympics, where he lost to Virgil Hill.
Now you go down to Barbados, where Eddie Neblett is from, and he's a national hero. Everybody in Barbados knows who this young man is.
It's pretty much like you in San Diego. Well, that's what you said earlier. No. Just kidding.
Well, the same would pertain to you at Gina's Pizza.
Yeah, right.
Good combination of which we spoke.
Yeah, right. And that right hand, which is very quick by Norris. But Neblett, give him credit. Boy, that one was right on the chin and didn't move him.
Eddie Neblett just turned professional back in 1986. And amazing. Most fighters, as they are making their transition from the amateurs to the professionals, will take at least a half dozen to a dozen 4, maybe 6 rounders. He steps right in and does 10 rounders.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, I think that it shows you that he's a tough guy. What he's facing in Terry Norris tonight, though, is you have to respect Norris for learning from the mistake he made against Derek Kelly, where he just didn't throw enough punches. He's come out here tonight to change that. Neblett is normally a very aggressive fighter who likes to swarm his opponent, but he hasn't been able to do that with Norris because Terry has been keeping him off with those jabs and good right hands.
Terry Norris in the white, Eddie Neblett from Barbados in the yellow, and again it's an overhand right that lands for Norris. Oh, an interesting array of punches being demonstrated by Norris. Follows the jab with the hook. Round 2, live action, Bally's Grand in Las Vegas. Phil Stone with Al Bernstein. It is Terry Norris in the white, Eddie Neblett in the yellow.
Norris fighting as a junior middleweight at 153 in this fight. In that fight out in Los Angeles, they lost to Derek Kelly. He dropped down to the welterweight division, fought at 147. He said he wanted to give it a try. Just said that weight is not good for him. And I tell you, he doesn't look at 154 or 153 like he's got an ounce of fat on him. So this might be his weight.
Now that fight of which you speak, Al, against Derek Kelly, he was actually ahead on all the judges' cards after 6 rounds. And one has to believe that perhaps a case of running out of gas.
No, although he said he did well in the 10th, he said he just spaced out in those rounds between the 6th and the 10th.
What an exchange right there. Neblett and Norris landed.
You know, Eddie Neblett is showing us an excellent chin because he's getting hit by some very good shots by Norris. And just nothing is happening.
Norris is 20 years old, while Neblett is 23. Stands 5 feet 7, born and still lives on the beautiful island of Barbados.
Neblett is just a little bit short with that left hook. You get the feeling if he lands one, he's going to have the power to hurt Norris. And he's throwing it well. It's just not quite there. He's getting a lot of leverage on the left hook. You know what his nickname is, of course, Eddie Neblett. Yogi Bear. I think I heard him earlier today saying, hey, hey, boo, boo.
Is that what he was talking about? We're in round 2. This fight scheduled for 8. Don't you dare go away. Terrence Ali and Joey Oliveira still to come, our main event.
Pivot straight. Straight across.
For the most part, both Neblett and Norris still in somewhat of a feeling out process. Neblett continues to press his assault, and you have to believe at some point Norris is going to have to start sticking that jab more often. Winding down the final seconds of round 2. This one's scheduled for 8. These are junior middleweights. Terry Norris in the white. Eddie, the Barbados Bomber Neblett, in the yellow with blue pipes. Now for 2, how do you see it?
Made the first round a round for Norris, second round even, so I've got Terry ahead by 1 point in this bout.
There's a good straight right hand that stops Norris in his tracks.
Good body work, too, by Neblett. He had Terry Norris against those ropes and really went to work on the oh, tremendous right, and I'll tell you, no effect on Eddie Neblett. Another right that he walks right into. Terry Norris is hitting him with some good right hands.
They are standing toe-to-toe. And again, look at Neblett continue his assault. Keeps coming forward.
I'm going to tell you, I hope when we get a chance to see some of those rights, those are very good right hands by Terry Norris. They're straight, and they've got a lot of force on them, and Neblett is walking right through them. Those are not bad punches by Norris. Eddie Neblett's got a chin. You know, this fight now, I think, equates downfield to 2 things. Will it be a left hook contest, in which case Eddie Neblett has the edge, or will they exchange more right hands, in which case Norris has the edge? When Norris gets too close inside to Eddie Neblett and they're in range to exchange left hooks, that's when he gets in trouble. When he's a little farther away and he can use the jab and a straight right, that's when Norris does well.
Step back. Come on, get back.
Are the times when Neblett backs Norris to the ropes. Terry Norris does an exceptional job of wheeling off of. There's another good straight right hand by Norris. Well, as you mentioned, Neblett continues to walk through the lethal exchange.
He is indeed, and I'll tell you, it's an indication that he just, you know, he's taking some big shots here.
Let it go. Go away.
Boy, exceptionally good matchup of styles here in this fight. Full left by Neblett.
Step back. Turn him loose.
Boy, Norris out, knowing that Neblett can hurt him with his left, is certainly not shy about wading in, is he?
Not at all. And you see, when he's in this range, he missed those left hooks, and that time Norris got his good left. There's that right by Norris. When they're just too close, Neblett has a shot at landing that left hook. But here, Terry Norris, very impressive in this round.
I believe Neblett has a gash over his right eye. Getting some of that Vaseline out of the corner of his right eye, and I'm not so sure as Eddie Neblett continues to blink that right eye rather furiously if his corner did get the Vaseline out of it.
Terry Norris is giving Neblett just enough movement, not running from him, but he's giving him enough movement to make it hard for him to hit him. Terry Norris smiling at Neblett now. A little gamesmanship.
Neblett's corner doing a nice job of stopping the bleeding over that right eye. We are in round 4. This clash of junior middleweights is scheduled for 8. Our main event still to come, Terrence Ali and Joey Oliveira.
See the jab and a straight right hand by Norris. And if that was all he had, he'd still be kind of an effective fighter because he's got the pretty good left hook to go along with it. Although that one was a little too looping and wide.
Eddie Neblett is undefeated. 8 wins and no losses, and 6 of his 8 victories have come by knockout.
And there's a left uppercut by Norris, another part of his arsenal. He tried the right uppercut a little earlier. The big difference here really is the hand speed of Norris. Well, I think that's the one thing that Neblett is having a hard time overcoming.
I wonder, Al, as this fight wears on, if Norris does slow down even a little, if Neblett will catch him.
Well, I think Neblett has power in that left hand, and if he can get in the range to punch, as he was a little earlier, and as he is right there, he might be able to land a left hook that could change the tenor of this fight.
Okay, come.
Look at that straight right hand by Terry Norris.
Step out, step out.
He lands it, and Neblett just walks right in beyond it.
At some point, one would assume that perhaps begin to demoralize Terry Norris, if you will. He continues to land those thunderous shots on the nose. Eddie Neblett, there's another good straight chopping right hand, and again, Neblett just keeps coming.
That left hook, I think, stunned Eddie Neblett, the one toward the end there. Finally, I think Norris got a response from him.
Again, blood above the right eye of Neblett.
Waiting to counterpunch, and boy, does he counterpunch. Bounces a right hand off the head of Neblett and a left hook in round 4.
Back to live action in round 5. Norris and the white, Neblett from Barbados, and the yellow or gold trunks. Through 4, I suppose, Al, you still have Norris with the lead.
Yeah, I've got it, well, actually widening it a little bit. I've got it up to 40-37. I gave him the last round. He's looked good in the last couple of rounds here. Very good. Neblett got quite a tongue lashing from Larry Kent in his corner. Now there's 3-punch combination of the body. Good idea for Eddie Neblett. He's had a hard time hitting Norris to the head, so go to the body. And he is reputed to be a very good body puncher, Neblett, that is.
You gotta work him. Hold it up, hold it up.
Norris's plan is to land 2-3 punches on the inside, then hold, so that Pearl can come in and break them, and then he can get on the outside where he does a little better work. And Neblett complained to his corner that Norris was holding him a lot.
Come on out.
Eddie Neblett is changing the tenor of this fight right now because he's going to the body. It's very effective for him. See, he's able to hit Norris now. That was a slip. And if they give him credit for body shots, and I always say if because you never know with judges, then he's going to do well in this round.
Well, it's certainly one way to slow down a very, very fleet-footed Terry Norris. We are in round 5. This bout is scheduled for 8.
Staying in that spot. Get busy.
Neither fighter has been down. Neither Norris nor Neblett have been hurt in this fight. Good right-left combination by Norris. And Neblett just continues to walk forward.
Very good counterpunching by Norris off the ropes. Now Neblett is so conscious of going to the body, he's leaving himself open to those counterpunches by Norris.
Break the hold, man.
Hold it. Come on.
15 seconds, Terry.
Come on now.
We'll be back with more action in a moment.
Eddie Neblett went to the body very effectively of Terry Norris, excuse me. You saw him land a couple of shots downstairs. That was early in the round, and later on in the round, Terry was able to come back well. I was wondering how long it would take before I said Orland Norris.
These are junior middleweights, and they have put on quite a show through 5+ rounds. Still to come, our main event. Terrence Ali and Joey Oliveira. We have seen a good chin from the Barbados bomber, Eddie Neblett. And we are certain to see a pretty fair chin from Joey Oliveira. Still to come tonight.
He is renowned for it. You know, Neblett, I said he was going to the body well, and he is. Now, he's got to take that next step to, for instance, when he gets left hooks, to double up to the body and the head. He can take that next step, then he can really be more effective in this bout.
Neblett undefeated, 8-0. Terry Norris 12-1 with 7 knockouts. Just past the midway point here. Round 6 and a good straight right hand by Norris. Best of the fight.
And that one may have finally moved Eddie Neblett back. And big cut over now the left eye over Neblett. Remember, he was cut over the right eye. Now the left eye is cut badly.
Pearl's going to stop it, have the ringside position. Take a look. Terry Norris thinks this fight may be stopped. The blood is just pulsating out of that eye.
He may be celebrating a little prematurely. No, he's not. It's a win for Terry Norris.
And a very, very game fighter in Eddie Neblett is down on his knees in utter disappointment. But it was that crushing right hand. Al, you had documented it as early as midway through round 1 that Norris had it. He used it repeatedly earlier in the fight. It didn't seem to be bothering that young man there at all. But here in round 6, he got that one golden opportunity to land it. And boy, land it he did.
It finally made a difference against Neblett. Neblett had been walking through all those punches. And a combination, oh my, is that a terrible cut. Combination of the fact that it stunned Neblett and opened this really, really bad cut was what ended the fight. If you're going to keep landing those straight right hands, eventually something bad has got to happen to your opponent, and that's what Terry Norris did. You know, Terry Norris wanted to throw more punches in this fight. It was that simple. He didn't throw enough in losing to Derek Kelly his last time out, and he definitely accomplished that. He threw so many that it was very tough for Neblett to deal with those combinations.
Well, it's a very disappointing loss for Eddie Neblett.
This is where the cut will occur. Oh, Excellent straight right hand. You see Neblett, though, he's ready to throw another punch back, despite the fact that it did stun him and he had to cut.
Well, we are going to see an awful lot more from that man right there, Eddie Neblett. What a game fighter he is, and a courageous outing. While for Terry Norris, he runs to his 13th win against just one loss. Let's go to the center of the ring now and Chuck Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 10 seconds of the 6th round. Referee Davy Pearl stops the bout. The winner by a TKO, terrible, Terry Norris.
Terry Norris, the only time he had been past 4 rounds was last August the 13th in a losing. Tonight in the 6th, he stops the Barbados Bomber. We'll be back.